Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is June 29th, 2024. In this video, we're going to try to cover a lot of stuff. I hope we can get through it all before we kind of like run out of time where everybody's like, I'm tired of watching this video. So here we go. I want to bring you a word that I wrote down this morning while I was in worship. It's helpful. It's good. It's encouraging. It's all of that. So I'm going to bring you that. I'm going to share a book with you a dear friend gave to me that is a great reference book. Oh my, wow. It's a great survival book. We might, I don't know, read from the Latvian survival, how to act in case of war. I don't know. Right now it's all about relationships and mental surviving guilt and relationships and emotional crisis and all that, which that's legit. I think it's interesting they put it at the back of the book because like probably nobody's going to get that far in this book, and whoever put this together was right. We have gotten to that part and it's just like I'm yawning now. Okay, all right already, I get it. All right, anyway, but we might cover some of that, we might not, I don't know. All right, what I'm noticing going on in the whole world stage, first of all, there's a lot of smack talking. We call it smack, where I quit. That boy talks smack. That's what which is, they talk biggity. They talk like bigger than what they really are. They say things that they're not really going to follow up and do. This is still a question in my mind. There are countries all around, in the Middle East especially, that are saying, if this country does this, then we're going to do that. And if this country does this, and if you even dare do this, we're going to. So, I'm just like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Crap or get off the pot. It's kind of that kind of a thing where we're at. Those are the sayings. They're Southern sayings, y'all. You may not approve of them or like it, but we say them all the time. If you're from the South, you get it. And maybe y'all say it up there in the North. I don't know. I don't know what y'all say up there. But I know that you are dear people and you have your own sayings, which I love those phrases that are cultural, that everybody knows what they mean, that lives there. So, yeah. I am alarmed when I see countries pulling their citizens out of a warning. Get out now. And there are a multitude of countries sending their military. The United States, I think, is included in this. I know we've been warning our citizens to get out, but I don't know if we've been helping them yet. Y'all can confirm that for me. Are we sending in military, anybody over there to help get the Americans out? I don't know. We don't have a very good track record with that. So, anyway, that always alarms me. That means something is imminent. Something bad is imminent. And so I don't know when they're going to pop off over there, but man, it's like fixing to boil over. Don't you feel it? So the price of gas in my town along the highway literally was $2.99 this morning, is now $3.19 this afternoon. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, except that I know the person who owns that gas station. I don't particularly like that person. So sometimes he's just a greedy old person. So anyway, that might be why that gas went up. I mean, I don't know. But what is gas doing in your area? It seems like if there's fixing to be a big war in the Middle East, gas and oil would be going up. I don't know. I don't watch that like a hawk. But, I do see what's happening at the gas stations around me. Just a second. It's hotter than blue blazes here in Texas, y'all. It is hot. So, we drink a lot of water. All right, now then, the whole fallout from the debate, all the verbiage being spread, we'll use the word spread, all over YouTube, all over the networks, all over the commentary. All right, I don't know what's going to happen. I listened to some things Glenn Beck said this morning, which I haven't listened to him in a long time because he's so political. That doesn't resonate with me anymore. It used to. I used to love politics, but not anymore. And, but Glenn Beck had some really good things to say, actually saying what I said in my video yesterday, and I'm not saying, I know he recorded it before I did, so I'm not saying oh, he copied me or anything. I'm just saying, look, anybody with common sense can say, we're in danger. All right? This man who is posing, is it safe to say posing as our president? I don't know. This shell of a person. It's pathetic, y'all. It's pathetic. Regardless, whatever condition he's in, it makes me sad. He isn't. Is he in charge? Whatever happens, we're so close to nuclear war. We are on the cusp, closer than we've ever been probably in my lifetime. I was born in 1966. You know what? I'm going to just say, in my husband's lifetime, he was born in 1963. Wasn't that when the Cuban Missile Crisis was? I think we're closer to it than that. Because at least then I think there were some sane people in charge. In decision-making positions. Now there's not. So I don't know what's going to go down, but I am doing things to prepare. One thing I wanted to show you about preparing. First of all, this is a random piece of advice I want to give you. If you have livestock, you're going to have dead stock. All right? That's just the way it goes. So if you're a person who is getting chicks for the first time and raising chickens for the first time, just be ready. Okay? If you can't handle a dead body, you don't need livestock. Okay? You're going to go out there one of these days and a chicken's going to be laying dead in the run. All right? Or dead in the coop. And you may have to get the hoe to pull the body over so you can reach it to get it out. All right? I mean, that's really farm life. All right? And so you need to be aware of that. If you can't stomach that, don't buy chickens. Or just be ready, because you do toughen up over time. You really do. So that's just a little tidbit for you. Think about that before you go into raising animals. Let me tell you, I've got 14 chicks right now, and they're just the sweetest. I love them. And they're doing great, but the heat, I mean, I've got them where they're cool, but still, dang, y'all. All right, now let me show you this book. This is I had some dear friends give me this book. It's called The Lost Ways, all right? Now, look, they printed it off, all right? They printed it off and gave it to me as a gift because we prepped together, y'all. We prepped together. They're part of my little network of people. Dean and Michelle, we're just going to do a shout out to them. They are wonderful. They've helped raise my kids. I've helped raise their kids. And so we are so fortunate that the Lord's brought us together. This is what they gave me out of kindness. The Lost Ways. Y'all, it's got all kinds. And I don't know where to get this. Maybe there's a website in this. Y'all, if I had prepared at all, I would have looked to see so I can help you. Oh, dadgum, I'm not seeing anything. It's copyrighted by Global Brothers, SRL, 2015, 4th edition. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything to lead you to that. You might just search that in Mr. Google and see where he leads you. But that is, I mean, it talks about everything. Y'all, it's a great reference book. So get it, print it out, give it, apparently you can print it out as many times as you want to, give it to your friends and family. Y'all, that's a lot of information. It's easy to read. The print is not small. Like some prepper books, like that nuclear book, I'm like, dang, that font is smaller than, that is smaller than what's in the Bible, y'all. In a pocket Bible. You remember when you used to get those little New Testament Bibles in like Vacation Bible School? Anyway, so you might look into getting this, y'all. It really is a great go-to. So there is that. Now then, what I would like to do is, I do want to touch on this though, because apparently Latvia thought, I'm not going to read it, but I have glanced at it, and apparently, there's something that they realized is very important that sometimes we don't talk about, is the amount of stress that comes from a situation of war. Now, I cannot speak to that. I have never been in a war zone. I have been in many, many, many stressful situations. I don't even keep count anymore, y'all. I know you have too. So my question to you is, when things get really stressful in your life, what do you do? Do you do you hit the wall and fall apart? I mean, sometimes we have to do that, and we've all done it where it's just like, somebody needs to stop, or somebody slaps you into reality again. But what is it you do to keep it together, to keep going? Now, this is talking even about relationships, family relationships, husband and wife relationships. And I will tell you one thing that has helped my husband and I through the years. We've been married, I don't know, we got married in 1986. Y'all do the math. What has helped us? And we have gone through the death of a child. We have gone through deaths of parents. We have gone through loss of job. We have gone through all kinds of things. Okay, all kinds of things. And when it is a long-term crisis, years, as war will be, as this war will be, we're not going to say if war happens, y'all. We're coming. They're leading us straight to it. So when we are in war, when our children are getting drafted, when our children's friends are getting drafted, all right? So get your mind there. You're going to be under a lot of strain. How do you keep your marriage? You want to lash out. I mean, okay, I'll just say this. When you're under that kind of stress, you usually get angry. You're angry at the situation. You're frustrated. You have no control over what's happening. And often you lash out at the people you love. You have a just an angry meltdown sometimes. You blame them, you yell at them, you channel your anger at the people you love, when that's really not what you're angry at. You're just frustrated that you can't fix what your situation is. Something my husband and I learned to do is understand where it's coming from. Okay? So when he gets angry, which is rare, and the same with me, which we are fortunate that our personalities are that way, but when he does, and if it is out there, apparent, then I ask myself, where is this coming from? I don't think it's me. Sometimes it might be, but it's like you're angry at the situation, not me. Let them blow off steam. Don't have such a thin skin, y'all, that you get all in a lather and you get your feathers up and get all, how you do sometimes. Let them blow off steam no matter what they say. And sometimes it may come to the point where you have to say, I'm not the enemy here. And my husband and I learned to do that sometimes, is saying, I'm not the enemy here in what you're mad at. And that diffuses things just a little bit to make you realize you're right. You're right. I just need a little bit of time. Just let me come off of this. Sometimes you just need to let them. And you don't need, and if there are any decisions to be made, can it wait until everybody's not on an emotional, keyed up moment? You're not going to make a good decision on that. Sometimes you have to say, along with, I'm not the enemy here. You can also say, I'm not in a state of mind to make this decision with you right now. Would you mind if we revisited this tomorrow after I've had a night's sleep? And that's another thing. If it's after 5 o'clock in the evening, you don't bring up anything after 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock's happy time. Nobody. If you can avoid bringing up anything confrontational, you're going to do better bringing it up before 5. Or pick your time. The later it gets, the worse we are at working through our emotions. We're tired. I think the enemy takes advantage of that. The darkness is coming, the night. I believe the enemy kind of targets us in those arenas. So be wise, choose your moments wisely, and sometimes if you can't, especially if the other person can't, let them just go. You don't have to fight with them. Even if they say ugly things about you, just like, I know that this time tomorrow they're going to realize they don't mean that. They're just mad about this, and they don't know where to channel this anger. When there is war, get ready for those relationship issues, okay? And pray. The Lord will tell you what to say in that moment. He will also diffuse it beautifully. And I find it interesting that this Latvian, How to Act in Case of War, really goes into that. Because if you start fighting internally, that's not gonna go well. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Be patient. Patience goes a long way. Patience goes a long way. And also another one. This is a this is a side note. It also helps to lower your expectations of other people, or even just don't expect anything from them. Don't expect, and that way you're not disappointed. Does that make sense? Don't say, my husband, he never does bring me breakfast in bed. Well, girl, what are you doing expecting that in the first place? You lazy little, Get up, get to work, and then when he does, you'll appreciate it, because you won't be sitting around expecting it and talking bad about him behind his back instead of respecting him like the Bible tells us to do. Don't be bad-mouthing your husband behind his back, girl. If I had a dime for every time I've heard a woman gripe about her husband, I'm just like, you better watch it. That man is on the front lines for you if he's a good husband. My husband goes out every day. He's on the front lines for our whole family. You better bet when he comes home, the home is a sanctuary, because it's a madhouse out in the world. I am a homemaker, and that's intentional. So if you're homemakers, then make the home. All right, I know not everybody can be, and I know that's a whole other thing. But if you are, then you better speak nicely about your husband. Okay, and I know there's all kinds of things that can contradict that, and there's situations and unique situations, and there's abuse. I know that, but I'm just speaking in generalities here. All right, here's June 29th, 2020, what I wrote in my journal this morning while I was in prayer. This morning I sat and said, Father, I'm just going to sit and listen. I prayed and I sang and I worshiped, but then I said, I'm just going to be quiet and let you talk. If you want to say something, Father. So I sat there for a long time, and then I shut my eyes. I wasn't asleep, and you know what I saw in my mind's eye, which I perceive as a vision? It was a UPS truck, a brown UPS truck, and the driver. And then I remembered what we used to call the UPS truck when I was a little girl or teenager. We called it the UPS truck. UPS, UPS. Oh, there's the UPS truck. That's how we refer to the UPS truck. So here is what I heard the Lord saying. The UPS truck, look up, my child. I am your deliverer. So that was just that's how it started. That's how this word began. Is the Lord showed me the UPS truck and said, remember you called it UPS? Look up. I'm your delivery. I'm your deliverer. So then he went on to say later, as I worshiped and listened, in the days ahead, many who do not watch will be confused at the show your political leaders are about to perform. Do not watch the show too closely, for you have already concluded there is no truth therein. Instead, my child, watch for the ones brows furrowed, like eyebrows, brows furrowed, wondering, what is this? For it is not abiding within our laws. These are the ones who want to know. They want to know me. Many, many, many will laugh and shrug, going on with their own life, their own pursuits, their own little world, a world they've made for themselves that has no time for me. They live under the illusion of the enemy. It will be the ones who question and are disturbed by what they see the snakes in your capital are doing. It will be these lambs of mine who have the hearts most ready to hear the truth, turning to me completely. The soul, S-O-I-L, the soul of their hearts is ready, the furrows deep, to receive the planting of the seeds of hope and salvation. Furrowed brows, furrowed hearts. This is what to look for in the coming days. I am with you always. I provide the seed, the rain, the sun's, S-O-N, salvation. Plant, plant, plant. The harvest is coming. I am your deliverer. Look up. I'm at the door. And that was it. And I love this. Furrowed brows, furrowed hearts. I guarantee you, y'all, I couldn't have come up with something so beautiful myself. So I believe this is divinely inspired. You need to square it with God yourself. As I always say, you pray about it. Whatever resonates, hold on to it. If it doesn't, just throw it away. All right? But I will say this. I live in an agricultural area. The people I live with feed the world, literally. All right? The people I'm surrounded by feed you, unless you're one of the farmers or cattlemen or whatever. I know a young man who literally has planted 4,600 acres since April 29th. Just him alone. Now he's worked with the corporate farming, and it's a big operation, y'all, but I mean, that's a lot of planting. And he loves planting time. I asked him, I said, do you like plant? What's your favorite part of farming? And he went, oh, it's planting. Which makes me think his spiritual desire is evangelism or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. Harvest is the most satisfying time of the year. Harvest is. It means rest is coming this winter. The hard work of the summer is paying off. It's beautiful. The colors are beautiful. Finally, it's cool outside. But planting is the most optimistic activity of the year. Hope comes with planting. So when you plow those furrows, and y'all, those furrows are deep. You can twist an ankle walking across a field crossways. I mean, I'm telling you, you really can. So let's go forward during this time of war and crisis and confusion and chaos and all the other bullcrap flying around right now. Let's go forward and look up at our deliverer. Keep focused on Jesus. And when we come into contact with people, keep your ear out and stay attuned to furrowed brows and furrowed hearts. All right, I'm going to leave that with y'all. I had a good time making this video, y'all. I hope y'all had a good time watching it. I'm going to go inside. I don't know what. I'm going to sit down, I think. I'm thinking I'm going to sit down. I've been trying to keep my chickens alive there because they're so hot. And I may put some ice out there in the water. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Probably just go sit down for a little bit. But I wanted to get on here and tell you, be ready. Things are happening very quickly now. All right. Do what you need to do with that. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.